Hey, I'm back with the May update for the 1972 Braves. I'm only doing the solo team replay for my Hank Aaron career replay. The Braves, excuse me, actually really woke up. They were 3-12 in April, but they were 14-11 in May. So that's awesome. So now they're 17-23. Ralph Garr had a 12-game hitting streak ended. The 7 there is Hank's high so far. I know it says 10 plus, but just in case, that's his high. And Earl Williams has a current 10-game hitting streak going into June. So, sorry. Let's see. The walks that I'm keeping track of in 40 games, Earl Williams has 19 walks, also 10 home runs and 32 runs batted in. Rico Cardi has 17 walks. Darrell Evans has 27, and Gil Garrido has 14. Just this team walks a lot, so you need Z's against this team. Phil Niekro is 5-5 with 67 strikeouts in 10 starts. Cecil Upshaw has pitched 19 innings, and he doesn't have very many left, but I can still pitch him about almost 9 per month. It's not a lot, especially with 2 DZs pitching third and fourth, but hey. Ralph Garr is hitting .339 in the first 40 games. Doing well. Hammerin' Hank has 33 runs scored, 6 doubles, 9 home runs, 17 runs batted in, 23 walks and 25 strikeouts, and he's 5 double plays grounded into. He's hitting .218 with a .314 on base and a .418 slugging. Not a great offensive year for Hank, but he's kind of pushing for 100 walks maybe and well over 100 runs scored. Now, I am going to go over some individual updates. We'll start with Fred Kendall from the... where are you, Fred Kendall? From the Padres. He went in a game. The Padres lost the game 11-10, but Fred Kendall went 4 for 4 with a triple, a walk, and 3 runs batted in. So you can't really blame him. Cesar Cedeno's on here for 2 different games. Wait, is he? I'm sorry. He's only on here for 1 game. My apologies. But it was a heck of a game. He went 4 for 4 with 4 runs scored, a double, and a stolen base. And then the next game, actually, he went 3 for 4, but he had 7 straight hits, so he was almost unstoppable. Then Bob the Bull Watson, in that same game, went 2 for 4 with a double, a home run, and 5 runs batted in. And in that game, the Braves made 4 errors, leading to 3 unearned runs, leading to a big loss. Okay, then we go to the Cubs, and Rick Monday's on here for 2 games. In the first game that I have him for, he went 3 for 5 with a walk, a home run, and 4 runs scored. And in the second game, he went 4 for 6 with 4 runs scored, and he missed the cycle by a double. So he's been somebody I don't want to see. As is his teammate, Jose Cardinal. In the one game, 5 for 5 with a walk, 2 runs scored, 4 RBIs, and 2 doubles. So the Cubs can rip. Speaking of, keeping with the Cubs, Billy Williams had a game. He had 5 RBIs. It was a game where the Cubs had 20 hits and won 12-2 over my poor Braves. And in that game, Don Kessinger, 5 for 5 with a run scored. Very weird. 5 for 5 with a run scored. Okay, then we go to the Pirates. Al Oliver, 4 for 5 with a walk, 3 runs batted in, 2 doubles, and he missed the cycle by a triple. Al Oliver. Yeah. Okay, Reggie Cleveland, pitching for the Cardinals, had a 3-hit shutout with 9 strikeouts. Poor Braves. Scipio Spinks had a game where in 7 innings he struck out 11. And then we get to Bob Gibson. Now remember, I do I play APBA ball. And this is 1972, so they're not coming out until I want them to come out. So Bob Gibson pitched a complete game, 15 inning, 12 strikeout against the Braves, and he lost 1-0. 1-0 in 15 innings. So you'd think that he would have at least done something to change that at the plate. But anyway, now we're going to talk about the Braves highlights. Earl Williams had a game where he hit 2 two-run home runs in a win over the Cubs. Let's see, is he on here more than once? No, he's not. Okay. Phil Niekro's on here a couple of times. In the game against Bob Gibson, Phil Niekro pitched the complete game. He had a 15-inning shutout, and he struck out 14. So that's impressive. Then in another game, he was perfect through 3 and had a no-hitter through 5 1/3. So he picked up a couple of wins this month. And we've got Jim Harden. Now, he might not be much to look at, but this is, in a game against the Pirates, he had a shutout going into the top of the 9th with 2 outs and lost his shutout. But then in the bottom of the 9th, somehow he hit a walk-off RBI single to win the game. And then in his next start, he threw a 2-hit shutout over the Padres. He went 3 for 4 at the plate. I don't know how. He hit a home run, he walked, and he had 3 runs scored. So, incredible month for Jim Harden. And we come to Ron Reed. Let's see, Ron Reed's on here. I wrote him down as Rick Reed. I apologize, Ron. 4-hit shutout over the Cubs. Yeah, a 4-hit shutout over the Cubs. So that was impressive. And we've got Dusty Baker. He's on here a couple of times. He had some big games. In a loss to Cincinnati, an 8-6 loss to Cincinnati, Dusty went 3 for 5 with 2 home runs and 3 RBIs. And then, in a win over the Padres, he went 5 for 5 with a walk, 2 runs scored, and 3 RBIs. And in that game, the Braves had 22 hits and it was a 15-0 whomping of the Padres. And we have Darrell Evans, the duty. He had a game in a 14-3 win over the Giants. Darrell Evans went 1 for 1 with 4 walks and 3 runs scored. Impressive. In that game, the Braves and the Giants combined for 6 errors and 5 unearned runs. And then the last update I want to give is the Braves beat the Padres 11-10. But the Braves had 11 runs on only 9 hits. They had 6 walks, and they reached base on error 3 times. So it was an interesting game. So that's May for Hank Aaron. Show you the standings one more time. The Braves, I haven't sorted it yet, but the Braves are now ahead of the Giants and the Padres. But, I mean, come on. Cincinnati's gonna clinch it pretty soon. And Pittsburgh's already clinched because I'm only doing the solo team, so everybody's already played most of their games. But Hank, with 9 home runs, 17 runs batted in, and 33 runs scored, is you know, putting together his numbers. That's what he does. He just puts together his numbers and keeps moving forward. Well, anyway, here's a sneak peek at the games for June. The Mets are pretty tough this year, but I'm liking all those games against the Expos and the Phillies because they are not good. So, and then we get some more against the Giants and the Padres, which is always fun for us. So there we go, 17-23, and moving into a 27-game month of June. Go Hank. I want to say go Braves, but I don't see a whole lot happening here. And I will see you in a while. I'm not sure how long it'll take me to play 27 games for June.